Welcome to the Witchy Work Wishes podcast, a place to find your weekly inspiration for bringing your personal witchcraft practice into your business, work, and office. Welcome to Witchy Work Wishes. I'm your host, Charlene, and you're joining me today for episode number 91, which is the second part of a two-part series recording that I did with Justin, the Pagan Padre, talking all about the Elder Futhark runes and what they mean and creating our own set. And I forgot to mention last week because it was such a quick turnaround. But isn't it kind of cool that his episode last week was number 90? If you guys know, but the number 9 is so very important in, the world of, the realms with the Norse and the, Odin. Just the number 9 is a big one. So I thought it was kind of cool that it fell naturally on number 90 with him. So today I'm going to jump right back into it again and then give you an update of what's going on next week, because I actually will be up in the mountains doing a lot of research for this podcast and the end of July episodes that I have drafted out, along with a poem and, of course, talking about our beautiful, gorgeous moon. And, wasn't that new moon what we needed? I don't know. Was it what you guys needed? It certainly was what I needed last week. Friday, our new moon, our Cancer new moon, was just everything that I absolutely needed at that moment. I'm not going to get too much into the move. I'm not going to get too much into the second location, all those amazing things that are going on. But this, gosh, I really do feel like a new chapter is starting for me. And I've got a little pep in my step again. I've got some energy, and I just cannot wait to share all of this with you guys. But today we are focusing on the second half of the recording that we started last week with Justin. And again, I am going to quickly review the 24 runes with you real fast, and then pick up right where I left off last week with him. Okay, and as a quick reminder, disclaimer, whatever we want to call it, I do not know exactly how to pronounce the 24 runes, but I'm going to give it my best shot here. So quick recap of the Elder Futhark runes. The actual word Futhark is in itself derived from the first 6 runes, the actual first 6 that we come across, which is going to be Fehu, Uruz, Thurzaz, Anzus, Rado, and Kenaz. So these are what formed the early alphabet. So the first one, Fehu, this represents wealth. It represents prosperity and abundance. It signifies material gain and success in financial matters. And was super excited to hear that this is Freya's rune. She starts off the Elder Futhark runes, which is amazing. Second one is Ura's. This symbolizes strength, vitality, endurance. Definitely represents the wild, the untamed energy of nature, and our ability to overcome challenges. Third is Thorazaz, if I remember how Justin asked us to pronounce it. Thorazaz is associated with protection, defense, certainly boundaries. It can also signify maybe a conflict or a warning, for us to proceed with caution. And I believe Justin said this one was highly tied to Thor. Anzus represents communication, wisdom, divine inspiration. It is linked to the power of words and the ability to convey messages effectively. I believe this one is with Odin. Number 5's Rado. This symbolizes travel, journeys, personal growth. It's going to represent the path of life and, the progress achieved through our movement and change within it. 6 is Kenaz. This signifies knowledge, creativity, definitely illumination. It represents the transformative power of fire and the ability to bring light into darkness. If I remember correctly, this one is highly tied to Loki. Gabo is number 7. This is going to be talking about, partnerships, generosity, maybe certain exchanges. It's going to symbolize the balance of give and take in relationships, and certainly the importance of mutual support. Number 8 is Wunjo. This is all about our joy, our harmony, fulfillment. It represents the emotional satisfaction that comes, from achieving our goals and living in alignment with our own values. 9 is Hagalaz. This one I think was associated with disruption, chaos. It's a sudden change. It's going to signify the destructive forces of nature and the need to adapt to unforeseen circumstances. 10 is Nathiz, which represents necessity, constraint, hardship. It can symbolize the challenges and the limitations that, must be overcome in order to achieve our goals. Number 11 is Isa. This one symbolizes stillness, patience, reflection. It represents a period of waiting and introspection where our growth really, really does occur through that, that inner transformation. 12 is Jera. Jera signifies our cycles, our seasons, the passing of time. It represents the rhythm of life and the rewards that come from our patient effort and perseverance. 13 is Iwaz. This is associated with strength, endurance, our resilience. It can represent the ability to withstand adversity and even emerge, stronger from our challenges. 14 is Pethro. This is all about fate, chance, maybe the unknown. It can signify the mysteries of destiny and the unpredictable nature of life. Number 15 is Algiz. This symbolizes protection, defense, and instinct. It's going to be about our inner strength and our intuition that's needed to navigate difficult situations safely. 16 is Swilo. This signifies our success, our victory, our achievements. It's going to represent the bright energy of the sun and the clarity of purpose needed to reach our goals. Tiwaz is number 17. This one is going to be all about justice and honor, maybe our self-sacrifice. It represents the courage and the integrity needed to uphold our principles and defend what is right. 18 is Birkano. This is all about fertility and growth and nurturing. It's going to symbolize the potential for new beginnings and that nurturing support of the natural world. 19 is Iwaz. This is going to signify our partnerships, the teamwork that's needed, collaboration maybe. It's about, the bond between individuals working together towards a common goal. If you remember us talking about, there were 2 back-to-back, both that are M's. This one is like a regular M, and then Manas is an M with a line kind of going all the way down in the middle. Manas, which is number 20, that symbolizes humanity, our community, our social connections, and it can represent, the importance of relationships and those shared experiences that can unite us. 21 is Laguz. This represents our intuition, our dreams, the subconscious mind. It signifies the flow of emotions and the deeper truths that, can lie beneath the surface. 22 is Ingwaz. This is all about fertility, our potential, our inner growth. It can represent the seed of possibility and the creative energy needed for our new beginnings. 23 is Degaz. This signifies transformation. It's about enlightenment. It's about our spiritual awakening. It represents the dawn of a new day and the clarity that comes from embracing change. And last one, Othala. This one I'm going to be focusing so heavily on for my trip this week. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. But Othala, this represents our ancestry, our heritage, our roots. It symbolizes the connection to one's past and the legacy passed down through generations. All right, there you go. That was a quick list review of the 24 Elder Futhark runes. This is a runic alphabet that was commonly used by Germanic people, definitely including the Norse Vikings during the migration period, right? The Vikings who lived during the later part of this period, they utilized the Elder Futhark for various purposes, including, their writing, their inscriptions, creating magical charms sometimes, conducting divination, of course, and then communicating messages. So, all right, we're going to pick right up right where we left off with Justin last week. And this week, the recording is all about great. Now we know our 24 runes. What do we do next? So, Justin walks us through how to create our own sets and then how to work with these sets. And stay tuned till the end. I do have a quick poem for you and an update on what's going to be happening here at Witchy Work Wishes over the next couple of weeks, because I will be taking next week off as I will be on location up in the mountains doing lots of research for my own personal practice, some of which I will definitely be bringing back to share with you. But for now, let's jump over and talk with Justin about how we can use the 24 Elder Futhark runes. Okay, so we have our 24 runes and what they mean. What would you recommend if somebody listening is on this exact same journey that I am on, where I want to create my own set? How do I go about that?
Okay, so
What can
I
I
will
use
say,
first? Like if I'm out on a hike, should I look for little rocks? Like what's the tangible part of this?
so like when you're creating your inset, I would
Yeah.
say use something from the earth. The
Yes.
the ones on Instagram or and Etsy and Amazon, like, they're cool, they're pretty, but for me, there's just something about having an actual piece of earth
Yes.
that makes me connect more.
What are yours made of, Justin? What did you choose?
They're little stones.
You did
Um,
stones. I'm drawn to the
yeah,
stone, but I wouldn't be upset if I ended up using like some type of wood. You know what I mean? Or some,
yeah.
I don't know.
I want a bone set. I want to make a bone set.
Mhm.
Yeah. So or antlers,
Yeah.
you, which are basically bones.
Yeah.
um, um, I would say round stones.
Mhm.
They could be any size, but ideally you want them about a little bit bigger than a quarter, like a dollar coin.
Yes.
I'll say that would be like the perfect size. Mine's a little bit smaller than that. It's in between a quarter and a dollar.
And do they all have to be, I mean, ideally we would want them all the same size, right? As close
Yeah,
as
you
possible.
if that's what you want.
They don't have to be. You would have some that are, I mean, I can see a little bit of variation, but ideally, I think if you're going to try to do readings and stuff with them, you'd want them somewhat similar in a range at least.
Yeah. You could definitely have them to where they're like not all the same size,
Yeah.
and that way you never really know what you're gonna get.
Which is what you want, right? You want the
Yeah,
story to tell instead of pulling it, yourself.
yeah, yeah. Because my room set, none of them are perfectly the same size. They're all
Oh, they are. Yeah.
misshapen. Yeah, they're all misshapen.
What okay, so if I'm out hiking and I literally would have to stumble across something that's got a lot of stones that are pretty similar, or just keep picking only
Or
the
a creek bed.
oh creek bed. Yeah, there's tons of creeks up there. Oh my gosh, so many.
Yeah.
My boys are going to
I
be
mean,
fishing for our dinner. Even they're going to be do rainbow trout and the brown
oh,
trout.
that's cool.
Yeah.
If you could take the bones from those and like make little rune charms
Ooh.
out of fish bones.
Gosh, they're so tiny though, aren't they? Well, I guess
Yeah,
it depends on how big the trout is.
yeah.
Could
But
you?
they don't have to be big.
They
You
don't.
you could take them and just hot glue when you get home.
Oh my gosh! And if it's something that the boys actually catch, that would be so much more powerful for me.
Uh-huh. And then you can pick up driftwoods and make
Yes.
make a Valhalla ladder to put outside your home for or your business.
Yep. Yep.
So yeah, I mean, if you have it, I know, um, what is it called right off the road, the Sabine River. They have a lot of petrified wood there.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Toledo Bend, I remember going there as a kid and we would collect petrified wood out the
Hmm.
wazoo.
Yeah. And then how do
Um,
you inscribe these images? Do you use like a wood burning, or how do you, or do you actually carve into like stone?
it depends on what tools you have and like what skill set you have.
Yeah.
Mine are just painted on.
Oh,
When I made when I made my set, I just painted them because I didn't have any tools.
yeah, you could just paint it.
Yeah. But I mean, I've seen them. I've watched videos where they do the wood burning on like antlers.
Ooh, yeah.
Like they cut the antlers into a little disc and do
Yeah.
that or wood burning.
I don't
You
think
get
the
for the
wood burning thing is expensive, the set, and it would be,
no, it's not.
yeah, it'd be way more permanent than trying to. I mean, painting would work, but it would definitely chip and stuff over time. Okay, all right, okay. Oh my gosh, I didn't even think about the fish bones, Justin. That's a good call. And I know I'm going to be looking for some actual wood pieces to bring in and work with back here. But okay, okay. And then I know
Yeah,
you.
or like if you find like a carcass out in the
Uh-huh.
woods of something that's been eaten, if
Yeah.
they're relatively big enough, you could use that.
And that's natural. This is, circle of life. It happened.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's say I have the tools and I've got 24 pieces that are somewhat similar, whether it's bone, wood, or rocks, right?
Mhm.
I really like you, and you told the story before on another episode that we were talking about, I think just the Norse pagan traditions, but
Mhm.
that you took a week, if I'm remembering correctly, you took a week
Yes.
with each one.
I did.
That speaks to me on multiple, like it's just really getting to know something before you decide to start working with it. You're getting to know each rune before you start working with it in your own personal life.
Yeah, the way I think about it is that, like you wouldn't go into a relationship without knowing somebody, right?
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
it's a working relationship. So like why would I just pick up a set or make runes and then start using them and then expect them to do what I need them to do if I
Right,
don't know them?
right.
And it's been a little while since I've used my rune set,
Hmm.
and I may just start doing it again.
You got to be called to it. I believe in that stuff. Like there's definitely an ebb and flow with just about everything in my practice, and then all of a sudden I'll be like, "Gosh, I need to go." Like I just whatever reason is calling me. Like I need to go back to this right now. So I believe in that. Like if nothing's happening or nothing's drawing you to it, then it just needs to rest. There's no place in your current situation that you need it.
Yeah, I use the runes a lot, like
Hmm.
a whole lot, and that's what else. It's like you kind of if you don't take that time to get to know them, and even after you do, I like I said, I can look at the runes and be like, oh, I know exactly, I know what that means.
Yeah. All right. So how would
After,
I if I took that same path that you did, Justin, and I spent a week with each one of these 24 runes and their meanings and the deity that's associated with it, and really understanding everything that encompasses it, and I've put that time in, then what is my next step? How can I use the runes for readings, or what happens then? What happens next?
so after you spent your time and you've learned them and you
Yeah.
understand them and you have your connection,
Yeah.
um, use them like you would a sigil. And they're not they're not sigils, but
Yeah,
you can use them like you would a sigil.
for sure. Well, you said
Um,
specifically you put it on your trucks, right?
yeah, I make a binder in, which is where you combine more than one rune
Yeah.
and use that.
Can you do
Like it's
actual, like if you have them all in a bag, could you just draw one and see, like,
Yeah,
if you say,
you
hey,
could do
like
a
I'm,
rune casting.
yeah, casting, yeah, like I'm struggling with
Mhm.
something, what's the direction I should be looking for, and then pull one out and then follow that advice.
Yeah, you could do that, or if you want it to be a little more in depth, you can take it and get you a casting cloth, which I have,
And what's
with
that?
like a
What's a
certain.
casting cloth?
It's just a cloth that I like. It's how like you go to your altar to do spell
Yeah.
work. You just would lay it out,
Yeah.
and it's specifically for casting.
I see.
So
There's not a specific image on it. It's just a piece of cloth that
yeah,
you use for. I gotcha. Yeah, yeah. Okay.
yeah. That for me, like I've seen some that are really cool
Yeah.
that have like a raven on it. Some of them have the sun wheel on it.
Mm.
Super cool.
Well, I'd
Um,
have to do Raven, but okay.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Um, so then you take, you reach into your bag and you grab a handful or so, and toss them onto your, you toss them onto your cloth,
Yeah.
and whatever is the closest to you is the most relevant. And the things that are further away could either be
Hmm.
things that are in the background that are causing you issues, or things that are happening that are just non-relevant.
So you could actually toss all 24 of them and then look at the placement. Whichever one lands closest to you is what you need the most direction with.
Yeah, and if there's two or three that are touching, or kind of like with osteomancy, like if you have
Yeah.
set words that are touching, well, maybe together that's your answer.
Okay. I like that. Yeah.
Um, I've done past, present, future pulls. Drop pull three out.
Yes.
I've done those.
I definitely like incorporating the sigil, part of it, just as you do with like your trucks, or when you're out for the day, you get protection. Like I think it's just so fast and easy for us to do quick magic with, of using our roller ball of scent, or, essential oil, or whatever we're doing, or even drawing in dust. Like it doesn't, we can put whatever that energy is on our body, on the vehicles, on our office window. We can, right? You can put it in the dirt of your plant at your desk or something. There's so many ways we could use sigil work with these runes.
Yeah, I can't say it enough. Like, I wish someone would have given me like the wooden spoon method. Like, hey, don't do that, smack. Hey, you're doing it again, smack.
It's right.
But um, no one did, and I had to find out the hard way. But
Well, that's a trigger for me, Justin. I grew up with a wooden spoon, so
oh, me too. That's why I use the
yeah,
analogy.
I know. I would love to say I did not pass that on to my boys, but unfortunately they got it too.
Yeah,
Probably a
my
trigger for
boys
them too.
right? My
Right?
boys have not had a wooden spoon. They just get the corner. They just make them go stand in the corner.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, no, my boys got the wooden spoon. So unfortunately that tradition was handed down. The wrong tradition was handed down.
Right.
I am so excited for this. Okay, Justin. So last week we had the segment where we were actually talking about each rune, which was amazing. Thank you for doing all that. And then today, of course, we're talking about how to make our own rune set and then use it. How would you kind of help me and the listeners like tie all of this amazing information together, like as far as creating our first rune set?
um, so I would say the easiest way is, as you're learning your
Yeah.
runes, make it.
Don't go ahead and make all 24. Like make one as,
I mean, you can.
yeah.
You definitely can.
Mhm.
But I would say, if you're gonna start, say who,
Yeah.
and then a week later, uh, so that way you have that time and you're putting that energy into it at the time, at the beginning of the week, like on, let's say, Sunday, you
Yeah.
know
Pick your next rune for the
um
week. Yeah.
yeah,
I like
and
that.
then that
I
way,
really appreciate that baby stepping into it. I really do.
yeah. Or if you're, you just want to make all of them and then you want to carry them around one week at a time, like that's perfectly fine too.
Well, that's where it comes down to, do what works for you, right? What works in
Yeah,
your own
yeah,
practice, and how do you obtain the relationship that you want to gain with this set?
exactly. You yeah.
For
The
sure.
kiss method, keep it simple, stupid.
Keep it simple, stupid. I know. I know that one.
um, I think I've said it on here a couple times.
Yeah. I think you have, but it works, right? It's there's no reason to complicate stuff, especially for something as beautiful as like a rune set, and how personal it can be. At least I think, like I've got my Crow Tarot deck, I've got my Animal Oracle deck, and that's it. I don't have. I've got a Moonology thing that I'll pull every once in a while with, but like I don't have a lot of decks. Like I'm so tied and I trust it. I trust these guys. And I want to have that same trust with my rune set of, and when I go to you, like I want, whether I like the information or not, like tell me what it is. Just say it. Just tell me straight up what I need to be focusing on or what's happening or what I need guidance on, or I want to create that relationship so I trust the information.
Yeah, no, definitely, I feel that, and something you can do to challenge yourself, especially you,
Yeah.
because you're about to go out on this camping trip.
Yep.
While you're out in the woods, try and find all the rooms. And
Wait, say that again?
when you're out walking, hiking, and camping,
Yeah.
try and find all the rooms,
Oh,
like in
naturally
nature,
in nature.
whether it
Challenge
be
accepted.
it's
I
six.
love that.
It's a lot of fun to do, and then it kind of helps you like familiarize yourself with them. It's like, which one was that again? It's a really cool thing to do, like once you've learned them and like as you're learning. I catch myself doing it all the time.
Yeah, that might be a little bit more advanced, but challenge accepted. Like I would like to at least try and then see, like, hey, and report back, like Justin, gosh, I just couldn't find this one. Like there was no connection. I didn't see it. I didn't feel her or him or it.
Yeah.
I know for sure just the elements in general, fire, water, air, and earth. Like I'm gonna be able to have all of those so strong that presence is gonna be so strong up there with me. It always is. It is my reset, regroup, you know, which I really need right now with a lot of, just like you, I've got a lot of irons in the fire, and that reset, like I'm craving it just to be up there and smell. I know what it's going to smell like. I know what the sound of the rushing water is what I'm going to hear. And I just cannot wait. The campfires and the little barbecues that are going, and just having my feet touch the earth. I like all of it. I wish it was right now. And I know it's going to go by so fast when I'm up there too. I'm going to want time just to stop.
Yeah, I mean, if you kind of think about it, for you, like that's like
Yeah.
your Othala, like that's you said your
Yes.
family took you up there when you were young.
Yep.
So
Yeah.
like that could be the connection you have to your parents too, and
My
for your
grandparents'
boys'
ashes are
grandparents.
up there as well. So, and I know my mom's ashes are going to be
How more perfect?
great. Like they're up there. Family's up there.
Yeah.
Did it. I know, I'm so excited. Well, oh my gosh. Okay. Any last words of advice or anything with this topic of the actual runes and creating our own set?
Yeah. If you feel like after a week
Yeah.
you and a certain rune just didn't connect, take
Okay.
another week.
Mm-hmm.
Take another couple days, because it was like that with me and Kenaz. Me and that rune just did not want to could not.
You just didn't
But
have
I
a
think that's
connection?
because
Yeah.
no. And then Loki was like, "Hey, bud, you have to have a connection with me first before you have a connection with this." And
Ooh.
yeah, so then it happened, and
And then you connected.
yeah, and then I connected, and I've told the story. I've told the story so many times, but about when I got the Elder Futhark tattooed on my arm. Don't be surprised if, like, when you finish and you continuously draw the runes on you, if you don't have dreams about them.
Wait, Justin, did you get all 24 runes
I have all
tattooed?
24 runes tattooed.
What does that look like? How did you do it?
Um, they are on my right forearm, and Fehu,
Interesting.
yeah, Fehu through Yetta is on one side, and Othala, what is that? Suila through Othala are on the other side. And then in between them is my Mjolnir with
Yeah.
Fenrir
Yeah.
and his chains, and the Norse compass thing. What's it called? And that's the Vigdasir,
The Victor Sir. Okay.
and that's what's in the middle. And then on the outside of my arm, I have a Raven's wing.
That's definitely going to be, I think, my next site. I thought I was going to do some stuff with the moon, but I'm pretty sure it's going to be a raven. My raven and crows are just, they talk to me too much. I can't not do it.
Yeah, I understand that.
Right? Like, okay, it's like you just want to say, okay, okay, okay. Like, okay.
Yeah, I had. What were we doing? I was cleaning the car out, and there was just a crow chilling on my house, just calling the other night. I'm
Oh,
like, shut up.
yeah.
I know. Hello.
I
Let me
know.
go away.
I know. Seriously. So how long did the rune set take?
I just got all of them tattooed
At once, just at one
at one
seating?
time. Yeah, I just got them all tattooed in one sitting.
Yeah. Very nice, Justin. Well, thank you so much for taking time today. I am always so thankful because I know how busy you are with your family. Oh my gosh. I just really want you to know how much I appreciate you taking the time out for me and the listeners every time you're with us, but certainly for this two-part series. Like this is just absolutely what I needed going up into the mountains.
Yeah, of course. I'm always willing to come on, and my wife is very accepting of it, and she understands.
And we are going to be all collectively sending her so many warm wishes here. It could be any day now, any day.
It could. Let's
Good.
hope not. let's hope. Yeah, I think she'll be 35 weeks tomorrow. So
Yeah, and if it's a boy, you don't want to be early. You want to go that full 40.
yeah, yeah.
Okay, well, just
All
she just had a little false alarm then. That was all. Just a little hey, heads up.
yeah,
Well, please keep
but
me. I know there's going to be a million people that want to hear about it, but I would love to know when it happens just so I can send you congratulations and all that good stuff. I'm so excited for
yeah,
you.
of course. If I remember, I will let you know when it happens.
I'll just every couple of weeks I'll just kind of keep bugging you and be like, so hey.
Be like, hey, did it happen?
Yeah. Wait, did you already pick out a name?
Yeah.
Can you say it or not yet?
Uh,
Not yet.
yeah, I'll say it.
Okay,
His name is Mason Kai.
Mason. Oh, I love that name.
Um, and
Mason.
it's really perfect because Megan the other day was saying that like she kept having dreams about like Mason. Its name being Moon. Well, Kai means ocean in like almost every language.
Interesting.
Yeah, and I was like, well, that's obviously the goddess telling you that she's got it
This is it.
under control because
Yeah.
the moon controls the ocean.
Yes.
But in Welsh, it means keeper of the keys.
Ooh, it sounds like Hecate.
It does. On top of the moon,
Right?
she's the moon goddess, and that's what I told her. I was like, that's literally just her telling you everything's gonna be okay.
Like girl, I got this. Like just
Yeah,
keep doing what you're doing. We got it under control.
yeah. Let us worry about this.
Right?
You worry about the other three.
Jason. Oh my God. Isn't it fun when you can actually I did that with both my boys. I had their names picked out. I knew I was having boys and it's just nice to call your belly something. Like and I
Yeah,
get it the people that wait to find out like kudos to you, but I loved calling my belly either Taylor or Connor. Like I just loved it. I loved it.
yeah, and it's really cool because the boys will will ask him like, well, where's Mason at? And they'll go
Yes.
in Mama's belly.
Oh, he's still cooking.
Yeah.
And then yeah, that they're already
Um,
attaching to Mason.
yeah.
I'm so
It's
excited for you. Four
it,
boys, Justin. Oh my
it it's very exciting,
Very
daunting, but
as it should be, right? Raising four boys. Goodness. Well, I
yes,
can say on behalf of me and the listeners, thank you for taking time out. And I'm going to make notes off of honestly the last two episodes that you and I just did. Because what I don't have or what I didn't have previously was the deities that go along with each of the runes, and that was great help for me. And I mean, I love that some of them I actually had enough of a draw to even think of them before you mentioned it. So that lets me know I'm on the right direction too, the right path.
yeah, for sure. And I love being on here wholeheartedly. I love that the fact that the listeners, you guys, ask for me to come back. That makes me
Yes.
feel good.
Right? Doesn't it? That's a little validation.
Yeah, it is. It's very validating because it's like sometimes like I talk when you talk to people and like I'm the DFGO for the baking
Yes.
community on Fort Johnson. I have not gone anything since I had surgery, and
Yes.
my leaders are kind of tired of it. But I'm sorry, I just I couldn't, and they understand now. But
It's hard. Sometimes you don't have anything to give. Like you have
yeah,
to give to yourself and make sure you're healthy and okay before you can give to others.
yeah, no, exactly. And I was validated by someone the other day. It was like, you did your job, you created the community, And like that's maybe all you had to do. So like if I don't show up, I don't show up, and I don't feel bad about it.
Right. It's on its own course. It's on its own path.
Yeah, but also guys, if you're working with the rooms and you took down the deities and that just doesn't resonate with you,
Yeah.
then it probably doesn't resonate. It could be someone, could be a completely different deity for you.
So that brings up a good question because I have direct access to you if I have a question. But is it okay if the listeners are going through a journey similar to this and creating their own rune set? If they are like, I am totally stuck, can they reach out to you, Justin? Is that okay?
Always,
Always okay. And
always,
again,
always.
can you remind us one more time through either the Discord or through the Instagram what it was?
Yeah, on Instagram, it's Pagan Padre 2020,
Okay.
and on Discord, I'm on the Witch Wednesdays. I'm one of the moderators
Yes.
over there, and we have a whole Norse paganism like channel. There is just a plethora of
Yes.
information.
So it doesn't even have to be you, even though you're monitoring it. You're one of the helpers there. Somebody could get on that Discord and post a question, and
Mm-hmm.
there's a lot of people that would chime in. I'll for sure
Oh
tag
yeah,
these two episodes in there too, Justin, so everybody can be like, "Oh my gosh, that's Justin. That's our guy."
yeah. If y'all have any questions, like seriously, feel free to ask. Because even if you think it's a stupid question, ask, because I promise I had a million stupid questions. Um,
It's overwhelming, right? And that's why breaking this up into little. I like that you broke it up into little week by week steps and segments because it's too much to take it all on at once. For me, it is.
yeah, and that's what happened to me at the beginning. I was like, I'm gonna do this, and
Yes.
I'm gonna learn it, and then I learned quickly that you cannot do that.
I think when you said like, hey, if something isn't just connecting with you or whatever the rhyme or reason is, pass over it and then circle back to it later. Maybe it just wasn't. I mean, this is no comparison, but have you ever like watched a movie and you're like, that was the dumbest movie ever or something?
And then you go back and watch it again, like later
Yes,
on,
you're like, oh my god, you're
or
like,
vice versa.
yes.
Like, oh my god, I love this movie, and then you turn and you're like, this movie sucks.
Your mood is very important as far as whether you're receptive or whether what you're going to take away from certain things. So it matters. And it's okay to walk away and be like, not today. I'm not doing it today.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, buddy.
Oh my gosh, I am going to let you get back to your family. I thank you so much, Justin, for talking with me and everybody about this. For everyone listening, I'm going to have Justin's information because I know I'm going to have questions. So I know you guys are too. We can reach out to you and just say, hey, what about this? And you can help build lots of rune sets.
Yeah, and I hope I'm able. I really hope I'm able to. If it's during the daytime, I probably won't be able to get back to you. It'll probably
Yeah.
be later in the evening, just because of the nature of my job.
Yeah, for sure.
But I will try and get back to anyone and everyone who has questions.
Even if it's the next day or sometime in the week. Like I know
Yeah.
life happens, especially with everything you've got going on right now. Goodness. I'm
Yeah.
very thankful that you carved out a space for us today and last week.
Of
That was
course.
just amazing. This was perfect. All right, Justin.
Anytime.
All right. Okay. For everybody listening again, I'm going to have all the show notes and I am going to have a special poem up next if you would like to stay tuned and to listen about our beautiful moon this week. All right. Thank you, Justin. We will talk with you later.
Awesome. Later, Charlene.
Okay. All right. Bye.
Bye.
Well, again, I want to give a big thank you to Justin, the Pagan Padre, for taking time out of his very busy schedule and certainly taking him away from his family. But thank you to everybody in his family for sharing him with us for these past two recordings. And okay, so I do have a poem. Let me pull that up and we can start with that. And then I do want to talk about the moon real quick and then what we can expect here at Witchy Work Wishes over the next couple of weeks. Okay, so the Elder Futhark Runes poem. Here we go. In ancient times, I found a stone with markings deep and brightly shown. They called them runes, or wisdom's key. The elder Futhark spoke to me. A journey carved in secret code through mystic paths my spirit rode. Each rune a tale of strength and lore, of gods and giants, of peace and war. In runes I found my story's thread, a tapestry from those long dead. Their wisdom, strength, and mystery, the elder Futhark now speak through me. Okay, let's see our beautiful moon. She is coming off of the amazing new moon last week. So we're in that in-between time right now of, it's not the new moon and it is not a full moon yet. So we are going to be gaining strength just as the moon is gaining her strength and her power and getting bigger and bigger, which is probably why I have another pep to my step. If I have any doubt, I could just look to see where the moon is and be like, there it is. But okay, so for this next week, this is actually airing on my birthday. So today is a Wednesday, July 10th, and tomorrow I am heading up to the mountains to spend a week with my boys. It is a place that is really near and dear to my heart. I've been going up there since I was very, very small. And my grandfather actually wrote some of the signs in wood that are up there. My mom's parents, both my Grammy and my grandfather, their ashes are up there. So I know when Justin was talking about the Othala and that big, heritage, the big family draw, the lessons that have been handed down by our elders, that's probably going to be my biggest rune that I'm going to be working with at least next week. I'm definitely going to work with all of them, but Othala is going to be very strong with me. So what that does mean, though, is that next week I will still be up in the mountains. So I do not do a bunch of recordings in advance. So I do not have any quick one just to post just for the sake of posting. I do put a lot of personal effort into these podcasts, and it's current. Each one that you're listening to, I record the weekend before and I edit the weekend before. So I like that. I would like to keep that up, but that does mean that we're gonna have a whole week off. So what I will do is a quick little recording, just to remind you guys that I'm up in the mountains. But oh my gosh, I cannot wait to come back and gather all of my thoughts and all of my findings and share with you what I was able to experience. Even more so, I just need to see my boys again. So it's been since Christmas that I saw them, since Yule, and that's too long. 6 months is too long. And they're not little boys anymore. They're not kids. These are grown men, and I'm so proud of them. And they're both off in different states going to school and doing what they're supposed to be doing. But gosh, I miss them. I just to my core miss them. So to have a whole week to be up in the mountains and, where we're staying, there is no cell reception. It's just, we are in cabins, but they're plywood wall cabins. So somebody has to wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning and start a fire in the little, the oven, their stove, whatever you call those. It's amazing. I cannot wait. So I hope you guys have an amazing, amazing middle time of your July. I will be back again. I'm going to do a quick little post just to remind you guys that I'm up in the mountains for next week, but I will be back the following week, and I cannot wait to talk with you then. For now, though, have an amazing rest of your week and weekend, and I will talk with you in a couple weeks. Thank you for joining me today at Witchy Work Wishes, a place to find your weekly inspiration for bringing your personal witchcraft practice into your business, work, and office. For more information and additional content, please visit me online at witchyworkwishes.com. If you want to send me a personal note, please email me at info@witchyworkwishes.com. And of course, you can follow me on Instagram and Facebook. Just search for Witchy Work Wishes.